What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters. Welcome to the Left Middle. It's time for a big edition of The Mail. That's right, time for The Mail. And once again, if I can reach the package, this edition of The Mail is brought to you by Greg the Egg, aka Blackmore Rules, from Canada, who I've talked about numerous times on my channel because he's worth talking about. I enjoy his channel. He shows a lot of hard rock and heavy metal and even punk. So he's a little different than what I show, but you know, not as much. He doesn't show any thrash or death metal or anything like that. He's not really into the more extreme kinds of metal. But regardless, his channel is fun to watch because he's just funny. He's fun. I got my handy knife and I'm cracking this package open now. It came in the mail last night. I was going to record it last night, and last night just got away from me. So I am cracking it open now, and which is, I don't know, 7 o'clock in the morning or so, before I go to work, and let's see what's in here. It is a rather large box, but most Greg the Egg packages are rather large, and there's usually lots of surprises in here, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's surprises in there again. Alright, so let's see what's in here. Right on top, got some Tim Hortons hockey cards. Now, he's from Canada, so he gets his hockey stuff very easily, whereas here in New Mexico, people are like, you watch hockey? Yeah, that's the way it is here. People here prefer football and basketball. It's pretty much or baseball. It's pretty much all they care about, especially football. For me, the only sport I really follow is hockey, so he being a Canucks fan, me being a Flyers, Kings fan, he also is a Flyers fan, but Canucks are his favorite team. So, my grandson plays hockey and also collects hockey cards. So, I've actually been moving some of my collection over to my grandson of hockey cards. So these may end up going to him. I think I'll open them first and see what's in there. All right, there are some T-shirts in here. And the last time I filmed a video, there was T-shirts in there, and I neglected to show those. So this time I'm going to try to remember to show them at the end. Excuse me. There's a book in here, some CDs. It looks maybe like an 8-track tape. I can't really tell. All right, first up we got a CD. Blue Oyster Cult, Tales of Psychic Wars. So here it is. Let me show you guys first before I dig into this a little bit. I'm assuming, let's see, disc 1, oh, it's a live album. Nice. So this is a double live album, it looks like. Disc 1, New York, 1981. And disc 2, Pachyderm, looks like Pasadena. Oh, Pasadena. Man, this font. Whoever chose this font, that's a horrible font on that background. It's really hard to read. And I've got like flood of lights here, so it's not like it's too dark. 1983. So very cool. This case got a little beat up in the mail, so I will replace it. I've got double CD cases, but I will replace it with a newer one. And that will be getting a spin today, because I love Blue Oyster Cult. So alright, this is a Marillion. This is Less is More. And I have a lot of Marillion. I don't have this one. I'm assuming from the look of this thing that it might be like an acoustic deal. 2009. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. Marillion are a prog rock band from the UK. Their early stuff was fantastic, often compared to bands like Genesis. And yeah, good. I don't know. I haven't heard this one, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. I do know Marillion. I just don't happen to have that particular CD, which is not a bad thing because now you know who needs another copy of something, right? All right, next up, the what is in here? Oh, just a spring. Huh. This is a LA Kings Stanley Cup. Kings won the Stanley Cup, what, 2010, 2012? So, yeah, Stanley Cup from the Kings. And there is an 8-track. Oh, there's a couple of 8-track tapes in there. I can't really. Oh, wow. So one of the greatest albums of all time, Deep Purple Machine Head. Obviously a Canadian pressing. It seems like a lot of the Canadian presses are on this yellow plastic as opposed to like the black or white ones you see in the United States. And Cheap Trick, live at Budokan. Again, one of the greatest live albums ever, two of the greatest albums ever. So, very cool. I will check these out. I may send them to a buddy who restores old 8-track tapes and see if he can make sure that this one plays perfectly, because that's awesome. Alright, next up, feels like there might be a magazine. Oh, dropped something on the ground. Sorry about that. Okay, so we got tickets. The Calgary Flames ticket. Which, of course, like I just said earlier, is his team. This is a little ticket holder thing for the Canucks. And the Nashville Predators versus Calgary. There you go. And then this is a postcard. Finn, the Calgary Flames mascot. Finn. Those will be added to my hockey collection stuff. Alright, then we've got Canucks playbook, which literally is a playbook, I think, for kids. So it's got coloring stuff in there, and so I'll give that to my grandson. He, like I said, he's a hockey player. He collects hockey stuff, so this would be something fun to put in his book. So, and then a copy of Hit Parader from September 1981. Let's see who we got in here. Adam and the Ants. Kim Carn. Wow, man. 81 didn't have a whole lot of metal, but Ted Nugent, Linda Ronstadt. Cover story is Van Halen, The Wild Bunch. So it's missing the cover, so I'm going to see if I could find, even if I could find a beat-up copy that just needs the cover, I might do that. So let's see if I'll show you some pictures if I can find some. There's the late great Eddie Van Halen, Michael Anthony at the bottom there, David Lee Roth and Alex Van Halen. Ted Nugent, picture him in Pele, which was his former wife. Linda Ronstadt. So there you go. Hit Parader. Let's see what else is in here. Oh boy. I don't know how I could get by without having some Donny Osmond. This is the single for Soldiers of Love. Donny Osmond looking pretty bad on the cover there, huh? In his leather jacket and jeans. Almost looks like he might be a rocker or a metal guy. I have no idea what this sounds like. I don't know. I have a raging Osmond's collection thanks to Greg. Because everyone I have, he sent me. Alright, and then there is oh nice. Helix, Don't Get Mad, Get Even. Canadian pressing, one of the few Helix singles that I don't have. I have a lot of Helix singles, but this is just one I don't have. So that's awesome. Excited about that one. Helix, oops. Don't Get Mad, Get Even. I got the song stuck in my head. And then, the last filmed live performance, Thin Lizzy, Thunder and Lightning Tour, the first time on DVD. Love Thin Lizzy, one of my all-time favorite bands. This is a classic performance. Of course, Thin Lizzy never performed live again after this because Philip Lynott passed away a few years later. So, unfortunate. A man who allowed drugs to destroy him. And then there is a pile of records in here. On the top, this is a what I call Jesus music from back in the late 60s, early 70s. This is Hank Lake. I don't know a lot about him, but I do know some people that are really into him, including a friend of mine named Matthew Hunt, who owns Boone's Overstock and Retroactive Records and Brutal Planet Records. And I believe he might have put this out on CD many years ago before I was working for them. So very cool. I'm going to check this out. Let's see what year this thing came out. This is a Canadian pressing. Don't see a year on here, but I think this is more like a mid-70s if I recall correctly. Let's see here. You think somewhere on here there would be a year? Pretty cool insert. Lots of live photos and studio photos of the band. And finally, let's see here. Is there a year on here anywhere? No, there is not. So I don't know. I don't know what year this came out. I'll try to remember to put it in the little note on the bottom when it comes across with the name of the album. Alright, next up. Cache Creek. I don't know anything about this album. No idea who these guys are. Cache Creek. Looks like an indie pressing from Canada. The band kind of looks like maybe a southern rock band. Hard to say just by looking at a band on the back cover. It looked like a bunch of bikers, to tell you the truth. I have no idea what this band sounds like. Let's see if there's any clues on the inside that tell us anything. Picture of the band with lyrics, and another picture of the band. From 2020. Yep, no clue, man. This is a new one to me. Might have to make a comeback on a what's spinning video so I can tell everybody what that is, because I have no idea. If anybody else does, let me know. Oh, right on. This is also an old Christian rock album, Stronghold. Again, I don't know much about it, but this is not the Stronghold hardcore band. This is like a hard rock band from the 80s, I believe. Picture of the band on the back. Don't have any idea what year this came out either, and this is on the same label as the other one. Made in Canada, pressed on 100% virgin vinyl. But again, there's no year, at least not one clearly printed anywhere on here. But as you can see from the center label, it's the same label that the other Canadian Christian band was on. Oh, actually has somebody wrote the year on here, 1982. So it probably sounds like 1978. Well, I'm just guessing, because I know a lot of the Christian stuff was a year or 5 years behind what was actually going on. Alright, so then we got, this is a rough one to pronounce. Nitzinger, a band I've heard of and totally unfamiliar with. So this is another interesting one. I get to discover some new music. I don't know what this is. It could be Live Better Electrically. Recorded in Dallas, Texas. And looks like the guitar player's name is John Nitzinger, which is obviously the name of the band. 1976 20th Century Records. So I'm going to assume this is some sort of 70s hard rock, heavy metal, something in that area. Cover definitely looks more like a 70s heavy metal thing, but again, I don't know. I'll have to look into it. My monitor just turned on. So really cool again, and not much I can say about it because I've never heard it. And then finally, this is Kiss. Another one of those bands I've never heard of. No, just kidding. Obviously, I've heard of this one. This is one of the greatest live albums of all time, in my opinion. A lot of people say it's been, re-recorded so much it's barely live. Don't care. All I know is it captures that live, raw sound that Kiss had back in the day. It's got the little book inside of it. I'm assuming this is going to be a Canadian pressing. Usually Canadian pressings have both French and English on the cover, but this may have been before that law was put into place in Canada, where they had to have everything in both languages. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see where it says pressed in Canada or anything on that, but I'm gonna assume this is a Canadian pressing. It's definitely got some different things in the back. which is the fact that I even noticed this immediately shows how geeky I am when it comes to Kiss. But this little guy right here is not on the regular ones, and it says on here Victor Musical Industries Inc. So that's not something I usually see on the back. So in any case, Kiss Alive, one of the greatest live albums of all time. There you go. Might as well show the booklet because this. Oh, I mean, when I was a kid, man, I stared at the pictures in this booklet for hours and hours and hours, wishing I could go see them play live, but was not old enough, and my parents weren't interested. So, and then this is the one that you could just sit there and stare at for an hour and look at all the cool live photos. It is on the original Casablanca Neil Bogart label. And I think that's it. Is that it? Oh, just the t-shirts. Oh, and a book. There's a book right here. Yes Stories. Yes in their own words. Nice. Love Yes. One of my all-time favorite prog bands. I don't think I've ever read a book on Yes, so I'm looking forward to checking this one out. Like I said, I love that band, and I've never, ever read anything from them, about them. I never read a book about them. I've obviously read lots of magazine articles and whatnot, but alright, so we got a shirt here. It's yellow. And it's inside out. So let's see what's on this shirt. Oh, jeez. Boo. Penguins, raise the banner. And this shirt is an XL. This shirt will end up getting co-opted by my wife, who is a Penguins fan. And I almost guarantee that this shirt will be a lay around the house or night shirt for her because, yeah, she's a Penguins fan and I hate the Penguins. So, how'd that happen? I don't know. I've been a Philadelphia fan my whole life, but the two of us got together. Neither one of us were really into sports at the time when we got together back when we were literally 17 years old. I kind of lost interest in sports and was just into music and art. And years later, after we got married, both of us got back into hockey again, thanks to a local hockey team. We ended up being season ticket holders, really into it. We started getting back into the NHL, although we were more into the local team, than the CHL team, than we were to the NHL. But I immediately picked back up on the Flyers, having been a Flyers fan growing up as a kid. And we both ended up becoming Kings fans, just because my bass player was a huge Kings fan, and we were going to see the games when the Kings would play in Vegas or in Arizona. We'd go see them. We always went to Frozen Fury every year, which was the Kings versus Colorado preseason game, which was a blast. Anyhow, all that to say, we got into hockey again, and for some reason she picked up on the Penguins, thanks to Cindy Crosby. So anyhow, oh, this one's much better. I like this one much better. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Even though my Flyers, and I hate to say it, but they suck this year, bottom of the barrel league team. So unfortunately, Greg's team, the Canucks, aren't doing much better. So neither one of them are going to make the playoffs. The Kings might make the Kings will make the playoffs. We'll see how they do. They traded off their all-star goalie Quick for some reason, who helped win them the 2 cups back in the day. But it's whatever. We'll see how they do. I don't think they quite have the defense that they had when they won the cup the last 2 times. So we'll see. And then finally, oh wow, here's something you don't see very often. Tommy Bolin t-shirt. That's fantastic. Tommy Bolin, of course, a solo artist, but also was in Deep Purple for a while and died very young. So I think I have all his solo material. And of course I have the Deep Purple material. So there you go. That was an outstanding package from Greg the Egg. Please look him up. Blackmore Rules. I'm going to try to remember to put the link on the bottom. I forget that all the time to put the links in. If you're watching this video and I didn't put the link in, maybe you can remind me to put the link in. So that's it. Appreciate y'all watching. If you know anything about those things that I didn't know about, I always appreciate the tips and tricks and stuff that people put on there. I always love talking music with people. Appreciate it. God bless. Stay strong.